Hello gang, Merlin, Don on the mic, bustercall-tcg.com. Welcome to today's video. Today we will talk about Red Green Luffy from OP13. He is one of the best leaders in this format, and he performs also really good here in the West. And we saw that also in the latest regionals in Lille, where a Red Green Luffy took the 8th place in the tournament. So we will check this particular list today. We will talk about the choices of this player. We will talk about every single card in the game. So not in the game, in the deck I meant. And about this leader, about the choices, about the matchups of this leader. And then in the end, of course, we will also check some gameplay in the simulator. So without any further ado, let's go to bustercall-tcg.com. Here we can find some tools which we can use for free, so like the tournament tracker, card database, the dice roll, the tier list, and the deck builder. And today we will use the deck builder. In the description below you can find also links to all these tools and of course tutorials how to use them. So it's pretty straightforward, but if you want, there is always a tutorial. So let's go to the deck builder here. We have already imported the deck list from the 8th place regionals in Lille using the button import on the top right. Just a friendly reminder, you can import, export deck lists, print your proxies here, create a screenshot from your deck list and the statistics here on the right side. But now we will load the deck, and this is the deck list. So first we will talk about leader, each and every single one of these cards. We will talk about the statistics of this deck, then we will jump to the guide, and finally we will see some gameplay like we already mentioned. So Monkey D. Luffy from OP13. If you attach one Dawn to this leader and on your opponent's attack, so your opponent needs to attack you for you to be able to activate this effect. It says that if you have 5 or less active Dawns, so you need to have 5 or less active Dawn cards. If you have 6 or 7 active Dawn cards, your effect can't be activated. You may rest any number of your Dawn cards, so you can rest these Dawns, and every single one of these Dawns is like a 2k in your hand. Not only for your leader, but also for your Straw Hat Crew type characters. And as you can see in this deck list, let's check the statistics here. We do have 30 Straw Hat type characters. So 30 of our cards can be defended using the leader's ability. So this deck list, this particular deck list is brilliant because it's built around the Straw Hat engine, so that you can use your leader's ability to protect all of your cards. And we do play 3 searchers. Let me put the right Nami here. I think this is the correct one, and let me update deck. Perfect. So this is the right Nami. So let's check it. We do play 3 searchers. Why? One word, guys: consistency. So we do want to find our cards, so the missing pieces of our puzzle, and you can only do that if you have searches on your deck. So we do play 3 of them: Jewelry, Bonnie, Garb, and Nami. Nami and Bonnie, they can search Straw Hat type character, Straw Hat type characters, and Garb can search a card with 3 or more cost. So you can search pretty much everything. And we do play Luna, so Garb can also search Luna, which is massive. It's big, right? We do play Laboon. Laboon, it's like a card that can protect your cards from being removed from the field from an opponent's effect. The only card that this Laboon cannot protect is your Zoro. So all other cards are protected from Laboon. We do have Sanzis, 2 Sanzis. You can play Sanzi as a finisher. It's like a tech, because you play Sanzi and then it says that you can select one of your Straw Hat crew type characters. So all your ends, let's say end characters of yours with 6 power or more. So it's like literally all of your good characters. The select character attacks during this turn. Your opponent cannot activate any blocker. So you play your Sanji, you select one Straw Hat character of yours, and your opponent can't activate any blocker against this character. So you can go pretty easily for a lethal. Then we do have Usopp. Usopp, it's a great card because at the end of your turn it lets you set 2 of your Dawn cards as active, and these are practically 2Ks in your hand because of your leader's ability. Then we do have Sanji. Sanji does exactly the same, but not 2 cards, but 1 card. In the end of its turn ends, on play you set up 2 Dawns as active. Then we have Nami. Nami is a blocker, and you can arrest also 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost 8 or less, and then you can also set up 5 of your Dawns as active at the end of the turn, and you can combine it with Luna. We'll go afterwards to Luna, so it's like it costs like only 7 Dawns, and then you freeze at least 2 of your opponent characters. So then we have Luffy. Luffy has double attack, and you can also set up 4 of your Dawns as active, and you can use these Dawns to either attach them to a character of yours or your leader in attack, or keep them to defend yourself, of course. Then we do play Brook. Brook is also great because you can rest up to 1 of your opponent cards, and you can also combine this one with Luna. And you can also use the activate main. You may trust this character if your leader has the Straw Hat crew type, which we do have. Set 1 of your characters with a base cost 8 or less as active. So you can also go for lethal with this card by letting, let's say, for example, your Luffy or your Sanji or even your Zoro to attack 1 more time. So you restand him, right? Let's say that you are at last turn, you go for lethal and you have Brook. You can attack with Brook, you can attack with Zoro, then you trust Brook and you restand Zoro and attack again with Zoro. And then we do have Zoro. Zoro is also a great card. It has a non-play that it gives your leader plus 2k power until the end of your opponent's next turn, so you become a 7k leader. And it has also an activate main that says that if your opponent has a character with 8k or more, this character gains Ras character during this turn. So you can't attack the leader, but you can attack all of their characters. Then we have three events. Electrical Luna, so you freeze everything that it's a 7 cost or less. It's like huge in this meta. Then we have Soulstone. This is also great because you buff plus 4k power to one of your characters or leaders. Then you trust 1 card that you don't need. Let's say that you have 2 Lunas in your hand and you don't need them, so you trust 1 of them, and then you set up to 3 of your Dawn cards as active. Remember, guys, when you're setting Dawns up active from effects, you always want to have maximum 5 active Dawns open. So active 5 Dawns and not more, because then you will not be able to use the effect of your leader. And finally, we have the I Know You're Strong. You can use these to either freeze 1 rested character with a cost, 2 rested characters with a cost 7 or less, or you can also use that to defend your leader by giving him like plus 3k power during this battle. So this is the deck list. It's brilliant if you ask me. Let's check the statistics here. We do play 39 characters, we do play 11 events, so we play some events here, right? So the average cost of this deck is 3.2, so it's not that big as other decks like Nami. We do have only 6 2Ks in this deck, but our leader's ability give us so many 2Ks because of the dons which we can use as 2Ks, so we don't need more. Then we do have 21 cards with 1K and 23 cards with no counter at all. And we do have 8 triggers in this deck. The triggers are Electrical Luna, which lets you rest one of your opponent characters, and it can literally save you if your opponent goes for lethal in this turn. And we do have the Soul Stone, which says rest up to one of your opponent leader or character cards with a cost 3 or less. So yeah, you can rest your opponent leader with this one. We do have 2 colors, red and green, and as you can see, the dominant color here is green and not red, but the percentage of the red cards are also like okay in this deck. So we do play both of these colors. And the type cards, the dominant type is of course Straw Hat, because we do play the Straw Hat engine here in this deck. Okay, so this is the deck list. Let's jump into the guide. And again, this is the leader. The requirements of your leader's effect is to have 1 don attached to your leader. This is one of the requirements, right? Then you need your opponent to be attacking you, and then you also need to have 5 or less active don cards. I will repeat that so many times until you remember that. And then the effect that you take if you fulfill all of these requirements is that you can rest these active dons of yours, and each don rest gives one of your characters or your leader plus 2k power for this battle. So we do have 4 lives, and our leader is a 5k leader, Strike. This is the deck list that we saw earlier. It's from Julius Schürhoff, who took the 8th place in the regional in Lille. And we also talked about the statistics. We saw the statistics. Let's go ahead and check the mulligan. What do you want to see when you draw your first cards? Of course, your searchers. Why your searchers? Because you can check the cards that you have and use your searchers to find the missing pieces of the puzzle. The preferred curve here is to go second. So if you go second, you go ahead and start with a searcher. Then you play your Usopp here. So your Usopp will set up 2 of your dons as active at the end of each turn. Then you play your Sanji, who does the same. Then at 8 turns, you can plant your Luffy, for example. Or if you don't have any Luffy or anything better, then you can play your Brook. And then you continue with your Zoros and the whole loop. So this is how you play here. And if you go first, you start of course with searching at the first and the second turn of yours, because you can't do anything else. You don't have any other cards between 1 and 3 costs. Then at 5, you either play Sanji or Usopp, and at 7, you play one of these cards. And then at 9 and 10 turn, you play accordingly, like one of these cards to continue the game. To defend yourself against effects, you have Laboon. it protects every single card in your deck except Zoro. Remember that. And of course, your leader's ability, which we talked about. We also talked about Saddlestone, which gives you plus 4k power and lets you set up to 3 of your Dawn cards as active. And then you can use your leader's ability with these 3 active Dawns. Tech that we use in this deck, Sansi to give one of your characters unblockable, Brook to rest one of your characters, and then restand one of your characters to attack once again. The I Know You're Strong event to freeze 2 characters, and Luna to freeze the whole board of your opponent. So now let's go and check how does this leader perform. So these are the latest rankings, and today is April the 19th. And I think they have just been posted today or yesterday, I think today. And as we can see, our leader here is like fixed in the 8th place. So he was not moved up or down. He's like at the 8th place with a 50.6% win rate and an overall score rating of 8.28, which is okay. And let's go ahead and see the matchups of this leader. So this leader performs well against Enel, performs well against Nami, performs well against Lucy, performs well or extremely well against the yellow Luffy. So as you can see here, we do have the top 4 meta decks, and this leader performs well against all of the meta decks. Of course, the mirror is 50-50. Moria, which is also a deck that many people play, is also a favorite deck for this leader. Where this leader struggles is Ace, Green-Purple Luffy, Mihawk, and Crocodile, Black Crocodile, according to the statistics, of course. So now, before we close this video, let's go ahead and check some gameplay against Nami, one of the best meta decks and the winner, of course, of the latest regional here in Europe, in France, in Lille. So we draw the first 5 cards. We have a Searcher, we have our Sanji, and we do have our Usopp, so we do have literally everything to set up our best play, even if we do go first here instead of second. We play our Garb, and we want to set up our future plays, so we select the Monkey D. Luffy here to be able to play this one. So our opponent attaches 1 Dawn to his leader, of course. And now we search again, and we keep completing our puzzle by finding the missing pieces of our puzzle, right? So now we do have a Zoro, we do have a Luffy, we have an Usopp and a Sanji to play. And then we do have also some events which can help us with the defend, or to defend ourselves, right? So our opponent plays Kikunozu. Kikunozu is in the range of Luna, and we are really happy about that. Now we play Sanji. We attach 1 Dawn to activate the effect of our leader, and we do attack also. And then with the ability of Sanji, we set 1 of our Dawns again as active. Our opponent plays Nami, and he trashes 1 of our life. Not trash, excuse me. He gives 1 of our life to our hand. And now it's like we either play a Monkey D. Luffy to intimidate him at this point, or an Usopp to have more active Dawns for us. We do prefer to play here Monkey D. Luffy with double attack so that we can also apply some pressure to our opponent. Then we attack with Sanji. So we are careful with our dons. We don't want to have more than 5, and we attach one more don to keep burning cards of the hand of our opponent. And we had 3 cards plus 1 card from Sanji. Now we do have like 4 cards and a hand size of 7 cards. So it's like it's not likely that we will lose life or one of our characters, except the case that we do want to do that, right? So we have now a 9k attack, and we use one of our events, and our opponent passes because they can't do anything else, right? So now our Sanji can't attack because of Perona, but our Luffy can attack. So we don't attach more dons to our Luffy. Why? Because we just want to burn cards from this Nami. But instead of burning cards, we burn life, and we also like that, because the more close this Nami is to 0, the easier for us to win, right? So now there are some options, either Zoro, Luna or Usopp. But our opponent has only one character rested, so we do play Usopp to help us with some dons here. And then we freeze their Nami with the event. So now that we see that, like in the replay, I would have played that well, not that way. So I would have attached more dons to my leader, so that we do have our leader's effect as well. So we have 3 open dons, but it's a bluff now, and we prepare, of course, everything for the next turn of ours, because we have Sanji and Usopp, and together these 2 cards give us like 3 active dons for free. So now our opponent sees that we have 3 cards in our hand and decides to attack our leader, and we do take both of the hits. And they play a Nico to heal themselves and have a big body on the field. Now they do have 2 characters, so now it's time to Luna, if you ask me. The first thing we do is we don't want to give much information to our opponent. We attack again with the 9k with our Luffy. Why? Because we do want to burn cards from our opponent's hand, and this is exactly what we do here. We burn cards from our opponent. And now he has only 2 cards left in his hand and 2 life. So for us, it's like really okay. Then we play our Garb to find something, and we don't want them to know that we have another Luna. So we grab the Luna, we play the Luna, and we have another Luna ready for the next turn. And 3 dons. So we have 3 dons, but remember, we take 1 don from Sanji and 2 dons from Usopp. So what we need to have here is maximum 2 dons, because we will take 3 dons from our 2 guys here, right? So now we attack with our Sanji, a 7k hit, and we wait. We end our turn, and we attack. We set 3 of our dons as active. Now we have 5 dons, so it's like 5 2ks in our hand, right? So first he attacks us with 7. We give him 1 of our dons, and then he passes and plays a Borsalino to heal himself. But he has only 2 cards left, guys. With only 2 cards left, he can't do much. So we freeze 2 of his characters. This is the first thing that you do. Then we attack him with a 7k hit to see if he will use his leader's ability and sacrifice 1 card, or just take a life, or sacrifice his blocker. There are some possibilities for him right now. But let me be honest, this does not look good for him. So he takes life. Now what we can do here is to apply more pressure. So we attach 2 dons to our Usopp. He sacrifices his Borsalino, and don't forget, you always take 3 dons back from your Sanji and your Usopp, so we only need 2 dons active. So we attack him with 8, and we set, of course, 3 more dons as active. Now we have again 5 dons, and we do have the event as well. The first hit is like a 6k, we use one of our dons to defend ourselves. Then it's a 13k hit with this Robin. And this is a hit that you can't and you don't want to counter, because he also have Kikunozu, and you might find yourself in a bad spot here. And of course he has only 3 cards, 1 blocker, 1 life, so most likely we will win in the next turn anyway. And again with Kikunozu we don't give him anything here, and now we can start with a 9k hit here from our Sanji, and then again a 9k hit from our Luffy. He takes life and everything to our leader, and of course he can't do anything at this point. And this is how you play with the red-green Luffy. Okay guys, so I hope that you enjoyed this guide as much as I did. You can create your own, let me hide these filters, see it better. You can create your own decks here, or import them or export them afterwards. Use our tools in the bustercall-tcg.com, and you feel free to give me feedback about the tools or about the videos here. Thank you all for watching. Peace. Bye.